So I recently put out a poll asking you guys which topic you wanted to see discussed here on the channel. Most people voted on the games from my backlog I needed to complete, so today we're doing just that. Analyzing which games from my PlayStation backlog I want to complete the most and maybe give them as recommendations to you guys. Before we start this video, you might be asking yourself, if you want to platinum these games on your backlog, why not just do it? Well, to answer that question, to me, completing a game is an entire experience on its own that takes preparation, and that I want to enjoy to my maximum capacity. So, there might be a game which I bought on release and was dying to play, but I won't play it if I'm not in the right mindset to do so, or I feel like it's not the right time to play it yet. Taking that into account, let's get into some games from my backlog that I want to complete and platinum in no particular order.
Let's go! Push those cannons to the start!
Star Wars Republic Commando is a game I already had on PC but decided to pick up in the recent Black Friday sales. It takes place in the prequels era of Star Wars and sees you playing as a commando squad, which are elite clone troopers. It's an FPS game with a tactical aspect to it, since you will be controlling all 4 characters with different abilities. I was very happy to see that this game had a platinum trophy, because on PC this game feels like it was given 0 to no attention. Not only is it a bad port which requires fixing before you even get to play the game properly, but the most outrageous thing is the fact that it doesn't have any achievements on Steam. If you know me, you know I'm a Star Wars fan, so this game is a must for my platinum collection. As for the trophy requirements, Republic Commando isn't hard or long, having a 3 out of 10 difficulty and taking 1 playthrough and around 15 hours to complete. Final Fantasy XV is a game I've tried to go for on 2 different occasions. I tried it out on PS4, which was pretty much unbearable due to the 30 FPS cap, and I tried it out on PC but eventually ended up dropping it because I couldn't be bothered with playing on my PC anymore ever since I got my PS5. From the little time I played Final Fantasy XV, I loved everything from the combat, to the world, to the characters and the story. This is a game I'm 100% sure I'm going to complete, because I just connect with it in a way I have trouble connecting with other Final Fantasies. For example, I'm currently playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and when I put the combat of these 2 games side to side, I have to say I prefer 15's combat way more, as it feels like it has a better flow to it. I also know this game got a lot of criticism on launch, but I honestly couldn't care less. As for the difficulty and length of Final Fantasy XV, it's about an 80-hour game with 1 playthrough, which means no missable trophies, and a 3 out of 10 difficulty, making it a long but enjoyable journey. Prototype is an action game that released on the PS3 era and was remastered for the PS4. I remember seeing my cousin playing this when it was released on the PS3 and really enjoying the concept. Just like Star Wars Republic Commando, Prototype is completely unplayable on PC and has 0 forcing fixes to make it playable, which makes me glad to have it on PlayStation. If you don't know anything about Prototype, just know it is an open world action-adventure game with an interesting story. You play with this guy who has some mutant type of powers to him, and the game basically plays like a darker toned Infamous game, even if that comparison feels like kind of a stretch. The scary thing about Prototype is that the game is an 8 out of 10 difficulty, spanning 3 playthroughs and 45 hours, which compared to some games I've already done is not that much. Nonetheless, it must have something hard about it for its difficulty to be this high. Metro Exodus is a game I've been dying to play for quite a while, but couldn't because it was literally eating my computer alive due to its high benchmark requirements. Now that I have it on PS5, I can't wait to one day sit down and play it from start to finish. The Metro franchise is one I've always been a huge fan of ever since playing the Redux bundle with Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. I feel like 4A Games did a really good job at transferring the books into video games. The characters in this franchise have an indescribable amount of charm to them, the guns are fun to use, and the story is, in my honest opinion, peak fiction. Metro Exodus in a certain way moves away from the more linear Redux collection and gives it a more open world aspect, which makes the game even better, not to mention it also plays better, looks better, and is an overall higher quality product. I have to put this game on this list, and I also have to recommend you guys play the other 2 entries on this franchise, which for me are must-play video games. For the trophy difficulty, I'll be looking at a 5 out of 10, which means not too hard, not too difficult, 2 playthroughs and 45 hours give or take, since I'm not really good with FPS games on controller. For the last game in this video, I have to give the entry to one of the games that made me buy a PS5. If you watch my videos, you know just from the back row footage that I'm a Dark Souls fan, and I've gone on record saying I've beaten all Dark Souls games. Once I saw how good Demon Souls looked on the PS5 and learned about how it was a PS3 remake of the first Souls game, I knew I had to play it. I bought the game and have yet to start it because I'm waiting for a friend to play it along with me since I want to share the experience. Like I said, the game looks astonishing when it comes to the graphics, and I can just imagine it plays as good as it looks. For the difficulty, it is what you might expect from a Souls game, a 7 out of 10 with 2 playthroughs clocking in at 40 hours, which is not that much, but I think this might be toned down since I think most of the times these difficulties are attributed to Souls games from people who aren't really good at them or have never played them in the first place. I hope you guys liked learning about which games in my backlog I'm most interested about completing, and I hope you can take some of these games as recommendations, as I truly believe they are very good games we can all enjoy. I'm going to start putting out more polls so you guys can pick what videos you want to see more, which gives you guys a chance to choose, and you can also help me pick from my list of ideas. If you don't want to miss the polls and the new videos once they come out, make sure to turn on the notifications, subscribe, like this video and comment for the algorithm to do its work. But other than that, make sure you have a great day. This has been the Retro Den, and I'm out.